Okay.
Yeah, what's good, everyone? I'm here with
Emmanuel,
Eric.
and me, Robert. And today we're going to just talk about the movie Friday and how it holds up today and the message behind them.
I thank you, Robert. So before we get started, let's make a quick recap about what happened in the movie.
So in the movie, it takes place in South Central Los Angeles, and basically we have characters like named Craig Jones, who recently lost his job, and he has a friend named Smokey, which is like a loud, hilarious weed dealer. And Smokey owns money to a supplier named Big Worm. And basically they have this conflict throughout the movie where Smokey gets Craig in trouble because they both owe money to a drug dealer named Worm.
So the main problems the main characters mostly face are neighborhood characters, with Debo bullying them, Miss Parker just being a little flirt with everybody, and Ezal, the literal drug lord. They also face relationship problems. You know, at the start with Craig and his girlfriend at the time started like birking, arguing. Like, you know, you feel me?
Yeah.
And also family drama and family pressure because, you know, being broke and having no job on a Friday is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna cap to you.
And how the hell do you get fired on your day off?
Literally,
Yeah, like it was literally in the security camera. He got fired on his day off. Like, how does that even happen?
Because he said he supposedly got fired for
stealing boxes.
Yeah.
For stealing boxes. I don't know how
You
that
could just
works.
buy boxes. Look, it's not that big.
Yeah, it really is.
They also try to come up with money before Debo's deadline, or let's just go get slimed out. You know?
And that's why the movie was so good, because this movie has comedy, friendship, and also the daily life struggle in living in the hood.
And this movie still holds up to today to like many relatable characters. So we have like a character, you know, like we already mentioned, Smokey, which is kind of like the funny friend in the group. We also have Craig. Craig is like the serious friend, the one that's always like self-aware, the well-grounded one. And Debo's kind of like the
villain.
The villain, yeah, like the bad person in the friend.
He's
like,
the bully of the neighborhood.
Always looking for problems.
I mostly relate to Smokey, but I'm not no drug dealer. I'm just funny. You feel me, bro?
Yeah.
Anyways, this also captures like reality. If you especially if you live in a poverty neighborhood or in the hood, as most people like to call it, it shows the struggles with money, boredom, and hanging out on the block with your friends. Also show family dynamics and neighborhood politics.
Not only that, it also shows you about like what it really captures about in the movie, how like everybody has like their own like way of doing the things, of how Craig is like the serious guy, and then Smokey's the drug dealer that always gets in trouble and then
never takes anything serious.
Yeah, and then they just always like, you know, arguing and stuff like that about who like owes them money, about this, about what else to get like problems out their way.
Now we could talk about like the legendary characters. Like, what do you guys think are the most like legendary characters? What do you guys think?
It has to be Craig and Smokey.
It has to
Craig
be
and Smokey.
especially
Okay.
with his iconic
They're-
line, "You got knocked the fuck out."
You got
Yeah.
they're the dynamic duo. Without them, the movie it doesn't happen. It would be terrible.
And like it also talks about like in the movie. Remember that one scene where Craig and like the strong independent woman, like his girlfriend.
Debbie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her. Yeah, when she almost fought Debo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I found that really interesting because she was the only one in the whole neighborhood that was willing to stand up to Debo. Everybody else was scared of Debo.
Yeah, everybody was scared because he's a 6 foot, 200 something
Yeah.
pound giant. Like, who will fight that?
And let's not
I
forget he
wouldn't.
has a machine on standby just in case he loses any fight.
And then Debbie's like a 5'3" short like girl. Like,
Props
Yeah.
to Debbie. I would not stand up to do that.
Yeah, I would be afraid. Can you imagine fighting someone that big?
And that's
And props to Craig for standing up for Debbie.
yeah.
I would definitely run away.
It's because that's his love of his life. He wouldn't run away because of that. Crazy.
Yeah. And then like, Manny, you could go ahead and talk about like the iconic scenes.
The iconic scenes would be about how one of them would be when Smokey was first started smoking. He was with his friend Hector, and then when he was hanging out with his friend Hector passed him a joint, and then Smokey acting like he knows what he was doing, which he didn't. He was just huffing and puffing like crazy, and then by the end of it, he ended up in a pigeon coop.
Oh yeah, I remember that scene. That's when he was in the car, he said he did smoke weed, but they gave him like a new type of weed. Like he's
Yeah,
never
It
smoked
was
that type
angel
before.
dust.
It was like
called angel dust, yeah.
Angel dust.
And
yeah.
basically, he was in the car, he was smoking it, and then like he just felt like he was like choking on it or something, right?
Yeah, and that's why he was hallucinating like crazy,
Yeah.
and that's why like
And he ended
ended-
up with no clothes
Yeah.
on the side of the street running.
He ended
Yeah.
up in a chicken coop, and then the only person that could get him out was literally his mom.
yeah, if it wasn't for his mom, he would still be in there.
Yeah. So. Okay. And then basically, the two strongest teams in this whole movie was probably friendship. The reason I say friendship is because throughout the whole movie, you know, Craig and Smokey are going through this conflict of owing $200 to the gang leader named Worm, and they never got to 200. They only got to like 100. So they would like stick together, and they wouldn't, you know, like snitch on each other. They would always stick together throughout the whole movie. And they receive a phone call from Worm one day, where basically saying, "Oh, do you have my money?" And then Worm would say like, "Do you have my money?" And then Craig would be like, "I don't have your money." You guys remember that scene when he said, "Oh yeah, I don't have your money"?
Yeah, it's because also they were economical struggle because since Craig doesn't have a job and
Yeah.
then Smokey's a drug dealer, you know, he wasn't selling nothing. He was just smoking everything that Big World gave him, and that was another problem too. And then that's why after the phone call, Robert, I don't know if you remember, but about when the drive-by.
Oh, how can anyone forget the drive-by where Craig Lee got shot by not Smokey. Why did I say Smokey? Where Craig and Smokey got shot with a machine gun, avoiding each bullet by an inch. They end up jumping over a roof and hiding in a truck behind bed, avoiding the van with armed gun members. This pretty much shows their friendship. Like they stay together, they know what they're doing, and they just trust each other.
And that's why their friendship is so powerful because of these life-changing moments that happen to them. For example, like if they weren't good friends, Craig and Smokey would have fend for themselves. Like they would either turn one of themselves in, and that's what was gonna happen.
They will push each other while running.
Yeah.
And I wanted to speak more about like their economical status, because sometimes like Craig would be in the fridge and his dad would always complain saying, you always eating all the pig feet, you eating all the cereal, there's always nothing in the kitchen because you always eating everything. And then sometimes there would be some scenes where they would have sugar in the house, but they wouldn't have any like
Anything
milk,
to make,
or they want to make cereal and there was no milk.
There was no milk.
They would have to use water. That's how bad it was because they had no money, especially Craig since he had no job.
That scene was funny, but it just shows the economic struggles.
And then, man, you want to talk about like the strong cultural impact?
I feel like the strong cultural impact in this movie would be like how iconic clips like the damn was in this movie when Big Red, which was a UPS driver, which was got bullied by Debo. He got punched in the face by him.
Yeah.
And then
They both like in unison screamed out damn, and then that clip kind of went viral.
yeah.
It's all over. Like this clip, you could always see this clip in Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube.
Until now, it became a meme for big things. Like if you see a fight, you be like, damn,
No,
if someone
literally.
wins. I know, I said it a couple of times.
100%. So have I.
The reason this is so iconic is because most movies that took place in South Central Los Angeles were focused on like the heavy gang violence at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie did like the opposite. It would focus more on the humor.
Yeah, because they were trying to mix the good with the bad with the good. So it could be sad, but at the same time it would be funny. So it wouldn't just be depression like the whole time.
All right, so by the end of this podcast, I hope you were able to learn about new characters. Like, do you guys think we probably went over all the characters, right?
No, yeah, because this is why like the movie was so iconic because of the characters that made it a hit.
Especially Smokey, Loki, he was the funniest, and I feel like he had the most scenes where, like, you really just like
Always laugh at it.
Yeah, relate to it, and he has the most scenes with the most themes, Loki.
And that's why like Smokey is such a big part of the movie. So as Craig.
But we can't also I'm about to say we can't forget Craig.
Yeah. But I hope you guys were able to learn about why this movie was so iconic. Got to learn about the characters in this movie,
and the cultural impact.
and also like the cultural impact that this movie had. And I hope you guys enjoy.